City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people, this is city I met all my best friends. And I wanna thank every brick, I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. I owe you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keith drove us down to Ice Place while we'd roll up a blunt, and me and Jack would get stoney, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
I never really had a place to call my own, so I travel and I roam till I find that. But I'm full of adventure, so I wander and I venture, and it's safe to say that really I don't mind that. I book a flight to try to figure where my mind's at, a spot where I don't spend no money, just some time at. I mix and mingle with the people till I learn a little. I brought some weed and baby, maybe we could burn a little. She said you're funny, I said no, I'm Xavier, then I left. Sun shining, birds chirping, let me take a breath. I'm headed to the city where my chance to make it best. What people like to give a little, then you take the rest. I'm hoping one day maybe I can find a place to rest. I fell in love with life and wonder where it take me next. I like the hustle and bustle, I fell in love with the fashion. I feel the pulse of the city, it's moving me like a passion, and it's mine.
How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. Me and my hometown, baby, we go way back. All the situations, circumstances, still we don't mind. Steady going on, I dance around the street lights. Hey, I know every street sign, hanging around the block like if you are my friend, then you are welcome any moment. Yeah, city of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
Freaking aloha. What's up, family? I am so happy to see you guys here. I am Doc Rock, your content creation coach. If you're brand new around these parts and you're like, who the heck is the fat guy with the beard? No, it's not Santa, it's me. Today, we're going to talk about like creators just like running out of space. I mean, on the real though. It is one of the things as you get started in this practice where you will find yourself running out of space extremely quickly, especially if you are a prolific creator. Now, if you got a new Mac within the last year or two, you're going to know that your options were like 512, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. Most people can afford that. Everything over 2 terabyte was borderline ridiculous. I mean, like crazy pricey, right? You know me, I don't use the E word. I hate the E word. E word is relative. Now, normal situation, everybody collects everything on these little drives, and the old bigger size little drives, which is over there. I'm not going to grab it right now, but you know, the little orange, let's see, or the cute little Western Digitals that you buy on sale at the Buy More and the Costco. And those are fantastic until you drop one or a client drops one and you lose everything on it. Also, we've all been in a struggle where you plug 7, 8 of them in trying to figure out which one had the thing on it. We don't work with that. So today we're going to talk about storage for creators, how to dive in, give you a couple of different options that you can use in order to make your life fantastic. And honestly, don't tell anyone, this is a secret. I'm going to be using your guys' questions as guinea pig fodder for an Amazon live talk I'm going to do in the next couple of days as I build my current storage box. I might end up doing a whole series on storage because it gets out of hand. Here's the thing. If you're watching this on replay, by all means, drop your questions in the bottom. I will get to you. I will answer your questions. If you're brand new around here, by all means, let us know you're new so the family can welcome you into the foray. Okay? Okay. Let me say hi to my family real quick, and then we'll get started. One thing to remember, it will make this easier process for me if you put a Q colon in front of your questions, because it makes it easy for me to find your questions as I'm looking at the myriad comments, because my family tends to talk a lot to each other in the comments, which is okay, but it makes it harder for me to find stuff. Let me say sup to my peoples. What is up, Mr. Smashing Pumpkin himself? How you doing, Alec? Good to see you here from the future. Sammy Superstar celebrating that birthday week. What's up, young Jedi? I don't know where it almost came out. It probably wasn't good, Sammy. I love you. Mr. Camera Junkie. What a dude, pimping. And then, yes, Jim, we are behind in Hawaii. We are in the absolute last time zone in the planet. Shelly saving some kind of day. She said, any advice on clearing up system? Yes, I'm going to start at. Shelly, I know exactly what to do with that. Yes. And then I'm going to start at, because that's the second half of her question. What it do, Rob? Good to see you here. 2Bs. Appreciate it. Go Johnny Go. What's up, my man? Good to see you here. And Michael Short, bro, it is getting better. I can kind of bend it to round about, let's call it 60-ish degrees. It needs to be like 120 to be effective, but it's getting there. So that piece is kind of a little bit... Nope, you're not late. You're just on time, bro. I started a little bit late because I keep forgetting I can't hobble to the studio at my normal pace. I gotta hobble like funny. So, we don't have Control Alt Delete on the Mac. Greg, thank you. Keep it techie. What's up, fam? Bro, you probably got good info on like my other system. I use an Unraid as my master RAID, but I'm building a smaller, quicker RAID. Well, it's not really smaller. They're going to be basically the same size. I'm building a purpose-built RAID just for my video stuff. There you go. I was trying to speak English. It didn't come out. What's up, Dina? Good to see you here. Appreciate you. And let's see. Oh, Paul is missing. Yes, somebody sent out an APB for Mr. Duncan. What's up, Megan? How you doing? Okay, I'm starting your question, Mr. Michael. Gangster. All right. Let's see. Mr. G is here. How you doing, Mr. G? Hey, what's up, principal? Man, ain't you supposed to be in school? Hey, you know what? Good thing is your first big break is coming through with the holiday season. So thank you, Principal Walker. Good to see you here. Michael Powell, my man, good to see you here. Gage Daddy. Mr. Albert, yes, the leg is doing better. Appreciate you, bro. Okay, let's dive in real quick. And before we dive all the way, let's start with Shelly's question. Any advice on clearing up system data folders? The storage in the hard drive seems to be out of control. It has 446 gigs in there, and I can't seem to clear the cache files to get it to reduce significantly. Okay, so yeah, you're right about the cache files, but one thing you can do, boot up in safe mode, right? Because then things that are attached to said cache files aren't readily active because they're in safe mode, and then you should be able to clear it that way. The other option is, please don't shoot us, look inside your, how do I do this? You know what? You know what they said? Miss Diana said, show them, don't tell them. Don't tell them. Okay, hold on. Let me open up a window here real quick. Command Shift New. That makes an untitled folder. And let's double click and see this. All right. I'm going to go into live demo mode because, wait, ding dong. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Man, click Ecamm first. There you go. Okay, I came into live demo mode so you guys can see. So here's my untitled folder. I just did that so that I can be on the Finder because I don't like random things on my desktop. I like my desktop clean. Okay, so while you're in the Finder, if you look all the way up here at the very tippy top, it says Finder. Under Go, you'll see your computer. If you press the Option key, it brings up this hidden folder called Library, right? So you can go ahead and hit that. All right, that's going to change this folder down here to your library folder. Inside your library folder, okay, go to Application Support. Brah, brah, brah. Go down to the cam of eLive. Check that folder. All right, I'm going to tell you that it has a tendency to do a little bit of growing because you have lots of overlays and movies and stuff that you've created over some time. So what you can do is look inside here. Now, don't go messing around in here if you don't know what you're doing. I trust Shelly. She's a genius. Some of you guys don't mess in here. Okay. All right. So if you look inside the overlays folder, like you close that real quick. I said close that. There we go. You'll see some of these guys just might be a little bit full, right? So one trick that you can do is right click on this guy, go to view options, and then hit calculate all the sizes. And then let me close that. And then you'll see that this one right here with all my overlays is a lot. Now, you probably don't need all of these overlays anymore. This is collections of shows you've done forever. I mean, like forever, ever? Forever, ever. So if you go inside here and then again, adjust it by size, right? Let me scroll to the toppy top. You can see like that movie right there, large, no need. This movie right here, large, no need. And multiple copies of same movie because me doing demos a lot, I'm always adding and deleting and adding and deleting and adding and deleting and adding and deleting all kinds of myriad things. So I got lots of copy of the same things. Anyway, you can go through this folder and just find all myriad sort of things that you don't need anymore. And you could, of course, I won't embarrass anyone, but you can embiggen this by switching it to icons so you can see what's what. You can sort it by size over here, switch it to icons, and it will give you an opportunity. I guarantee you inside that overlay folder, you just have created a lot of stuff that you might not need, and you will find ample opportunity in there to get jiggy with it. Nah. That's just one of the myriad places. I'm sure there's more, but between safe mode and gutting your, and because you're a streamer like me, gutting your streamer folder, you will find lots of space, just lots of space. Okay, so let me check on Mr. Michael Short real quick. Recommendations on the external SSD. My favorite SSDs at the moment, and both of them are plugged in, so I can't show you. Let me pull them up on the old Amazon box over here real quick. I have both of them plugged in, actively running. They're quite amazing. Let's start with ODub's Envoy Pro. Gangster. All right. Bam, bam, bam. All right, let me get to this here. Browser. That's the word I'm looking for. Browser. All right, so this is the Envoy Pro FX. This guy is quick than a mug, right? It is an M2 SSD. It is capable of doing 2,800 megabytes per second. This guy is really, really fast, okay? There's also this other Envoy made also by OWC, and it's the one you see up here. Let's go for the 2 terabyte. And this one, Let's see what they put for the speeds on it. If I remember correctly, it's close to the same. No, this one only goes to 1,000. So the black version or gray, dark gray version, space gray, honestly, the space gray version will do 2,800 megabytes per second, which is perfect for editing. This one will only do 1,000. It's 1,100 actually, which is still good for editing if you're a 1080 camp. If you're 4K camp, you're going to want the other one. What's dope about both of these drives is they're pretty much indestructible. I won't say indestructible because that's not going to happen, but they're pretty much indestructible. So these guys are super gangster. That's the OWC 2 terabyte, whatever. I'll give you the entry link for this one. You can pick size and whatever accordingly for yourself, right? Now, the other option I'm going to show you, which is also ridiculously fast, I also have on the table. Both of mine are 2 terabytes apiece because, you know, storage be getting out of hand. That one's for you, Mr. Michael Short. I will show you my Sabrent Extreme Q. But actually, mine is Extreme Rocket Q. Let's see. Will it show up here? Nope. They're going to force me to write the word rocket. I hate you. There we go. Rocket Extreme 2, external SSD. Blood clot. Where you going? Why him no there? Oh, don't. You know what? It's a high possibility that. There it is. They spell extreme different. Of course, who does this? Well, that's why companies don't spell things weird. I'm sorry, it's not cute anymore, and it makes it impossible for people to find. So this guy is similar. It's 100 megabits per second slower. You're not going to notice it. I use this to edit everything. This is my master edit drive. I'm going to go ahead and paste this one in the chisel as well, so that way you can find it. If I had to pick one or the other, I like the form factor of the Sabrent better, but I have a long-standing relationship with OWC, so I love OWC. They're kind of like my people at too, buddy. I just like the kinfolk over there, so therefore I like the product. You know how it is. We buy people more so than product, not in a creepy way. Okay, so let me get back into the chizzy to see where we're at. That covers those 2 questions. Let's see if we get some more coming up. Oh, I see Mr. Moderator. Welcome to the party, P. Love you, fam. All right. Mr. Rich says, what is the minimum bandwidth required to effectively access files on the NAS? Okay, so good question, Rich. I think I understand what you mean, but let's clarify. If you mean internally in your spot, right? Because it is going to be connected to the network, right? In your spot, it's going to be fine. There's not really, I mean, it is bandwidth, but it's not. When we talk about bandwidth in general, we speaking on internet bandwidth, okay? So it doesn't really matter. It's better, faster is better, of course, right? You can't edit. Okay, so I can't let, say, Keep It Techie or Luis edit directly off my Unraid from Florida back here, because my upload speed in here is only 50 megabits per second, which is going to be a little bit slow. He can, however, download the project file, go to town, send me the finished project, right? I can upload the finished project to YouTube, do all of that, and then he can slowly upload the project file back to the server. And that's, Luis don't know this yet, but that's fitting to be what happens. He won't be able to edit native. He can pull, edit, push. It's called push-pull, right? That's going to be fine. We're going to have that set up. As far as you editing on the drive itself in your space, you're going to want that 2.5 network or a 10 gig network in your house, right? So, because my knee is sore, I'm not going to pick up that box with the thing in it. I'll show you guys a picture of it. But on the floor here, I have a Synology DS1821 Plus. One of the upgrades I got for the DS1821 Plus is this Synology 10 gig network card. Because if you guys remember, back when we did Mac Mini purchases and iMac purchases, we upgraded to the 10 GBE network card on the Mac as we purchased them. Knowing good and well, I have a 10 gig network in the crib over here, right? I have one 10 GBE network that's connected to that Unraid, the 24 terabyte Linux box back there. And what that allows me to do is sort of what I mentioned with the remote editor. I edit on these two, what I just spoke to Michael about. I edit on the OWC or the Sabrent. And then at night when I'm sipping whiskey, the software says, hey, let me grab that stuff and put it on the RAID safely so nothing happens. If the edit freaks out in the middle, which happened to me like a week ago, I had an edit that wasn't exporting right. Something was crazy. What I ended up doing was just killing that project on the Sabrent, which where it sit, and then grab the one that was backed up on the RAID from like the night before and pull it. And lucky the amount of work that I had done since the project broke was only like 10 minutes. So I was able to fix it. And the second time it was faster because I knew exactly what I wanted. So if you want to do this where you're editing on your RAID, you're going to spend a little bit more money up front, but you can absolutely edit off of a RAID. Okay? A NAS-based RAID. So we're going to talk about that in a second too, Rich. Let me write this down because I do want to make sure that I cover the difference between a standard box RAID and something like a NAS RAID. One is called DAS, Direct Attached Storage. That's like a hard drive Thunderbolt cable plugged into your machine. Those can be RAIDs too. I don't want to confuse you. A NAS is a dope-ass MC from Queensbridge. No, that's NAS. A NAS is a network attached storage. So it's just like a direct attached storage, but instead of using a Thunderbolt cable, you can use an Ethernet cable. And it's accessible from anywhere within the world, provided you set your firewalls and things up correctly, which we'll get into. So let me do DAS. That's a whole video right there. DAS versus NAS. Hashtag Illmatic. Okay, I'm going to call that video Rich Graham. Yes. Good question, Rich. Boom. Nope. I never bought a new MacBook. I bought a NAS instead. Yeah, you got to go get an old-fashioned keyboard. That's the way it is. Is what it is. You always keep a hardwired white Mac keyboard on deck. You can buy one used for $10. Look locally in your newspaper, check the local school, check the old computer supply store. But if you don't have the right keyboard, especially all of us third-party keyboard people, I am a third-party keyboard people. See, I got my swanky Keychron KA+. Then yeah, you can only boot in the safe mode with a proper keyboard. It is what it is. Not that big a deal. You can also do it through terminal. I'm not sending you down that path, G, because who knows, you might launch a rocket or something. Q:. Would you recommend using a video service for your past live streams? That's exactly what we're talking about. Yes, exactly what you're talking about. I'm not going to use Mac OS Server because just doing that is not much different than copying them to a big hard drive. The same thing. There's no redundancy. The reason why we're building it as a Synology RAID, and we'll get into in a second like the differences. It can be Synology, it can be QNAP. Again, if you want a direct attached storage style RAID, you can buy a LaCie or Pegasus, OWC, Buffalo, AccuStore, Teradisk. There's a bunch. The advantage of a RAID, the R in RAID, redundant, right? So if I have a RAID, and we're going to talk about RAID 5, right, for instance, right, or RAID 6, RAID 10. If I have a RAID, this drive fails. This drive still has everything that this drive had because these are twins. This drive is called Ken. This drive is called Glenn. If anything happens to this drive, this one has everything on it. That's the reason why a standard issue, let me just get some old, my book, 12 terabyte, copy it over. That works. And by all means, that's better than nothing. Okay. But if it fails, you ghost. So me not do that. Right. So we'll talk about that, Sammy. All right. Let's talk about that. Let me write this down. You guys are helping me process my video. Okay. Let's do, I'm going to just call this my book versus RAID. Not to mention that in many cases, the RAID will be faster. Covert, what it do, player? Good to see you here. I want to move large files for D-Store somewhere that doesn't break the bank. I have the ability to get Amazon Glacier. Yes. Okay. Let's put that. Cold. That's called cold storage, not deep storage, but I'll take it. Man, I appreciate y'all. My video series or whatever this comes out to be about to be fire because you guys are coming in hot with the dope questions. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, love. Keep it coming, love. Don't stop it now. Don't stop it. No, don't stop it now. Don't stop. Sorry. You guys know I got musical ADD. Or Tourette's. I can't even call it right disease. I know someone that got an 8 terabyte storage in a new MacBook Pro. Who cares? That doesn't do anything to do. Yes. You never. Okay, Sammy, let's write this down. Never have one drive. Never. Ever, 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 ever have one drive. That is, I know Nas only needed one mic, but you need more than one drive. The size of the drive inside the computer is irrelevant because it's not the size, it's how you use it. I'm talking about hard drives. Whether you got a 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte, 8 byte. I know video people that bought like the fully maxed out 8 terabyte drives as well because they're doing DIT in the field, which means they're on a production shoot with like 6 red cameras and they want to bring the dailies in so that the director can look at the dailies on the fly. So in pro space, yeah, buying a $20,000, $30,000 fully loaded DIT system is nothing because that's a day's worth of work. But they still need to back it up. So having done DIT for films on a set, this is where this conversation about direct attached storage and stuff comes in using like a Pegasus 32 terabyte RAID, right? So we'll get into that. Kevy Kev, what it does. What's up, Keels? Good to see you here. All right. Now, Rich, come on now. You coming correct with the question right there. I will always want to go to the minimum amount of LCs as possible. However, when I got mine, I did get it as a QLC because I'm not using it for life storage. I'm using it for editing as fast as possible. Okay? So, the terminology, I'm sorry, I just did something bad, Rich. I assumed you knew the difference, but even if you do, forgive me for doc-splaining this. I'm explaining this for folks who don't know. An SSD is a bunch of chips. All right, let's do this. I'm going to use an old one. I don't want to use this. Lord of mercy. So on top of this ear drive, right? This is a RAM chip. Not to be confused with one of them spicy Pacquiao chips. Okay? So this is what's inside an SSD. Slightly different, a little bit longer, gold points on the end instead of on the side. This jank right here is a 2 gigabyte. So on one of these 2 terabyte drives, instead of having like 8 chips on it like this guy, there's a metric F ton of them. Okay. When it writes to these chips, they do them in layers on the wafer, right? So in a manner, it's about data density. Say this card could hold a single terabyte. A QLC drive would be 4 of these on the same wafer. That's only 3, but just follow me. That's 4 of these on the same wafer in order to get the 2 terabytes. That makes your overall price of the drive cheaper because I am stacking layer upon layer upon layer as opposed to creating multiple chips. That is great for price. It is bad for long-term storage. But for us creators, not normal kin folks, we don't care about them. They ain't got nothing to do with us. For us creators, we don't necessarily care about long-term storage because you're not really going to long-term storage on an SSD. Our point today is to get things off of the SSD and somewhere safe, be it the cloud, be it a single gigantic slow box disk, be it a RAID. We're going to get things set up to where some of that is out. So, to Rich's point, that drive we spoke on is a 2 terabyte. That drive at 2 terabytes is $350 for a QLC and $399 for a TLC. Quad level, tri-level. The really gangster joint is like SLC, single layer. They're crazy expensive, right? Or MLC, that's where there's like a 2 layer, right? So in the TLC mode, it's going to be like little bit more expensive, little bit slower because just the data density. But for our case, doesn't matter. We're not looking to make this 2 terabyte SSD like the storage locker. We're using this as the freeway, so to speak. We're going to put things on there, haul ass, move in, move out, move in, move out. If it dies in 3 years, we don't give it. Okay. So good question. Rich is again with the question. Let me write that on my list of things to put in the video. I don't want to make it crazy, but I think that's important because as you go to look for this stuff, these things will pop up and you ain't going to know what it is. For real. Okay. Boom. Yo, what it do, Christmas man? Good to see you. Okay, pulling files down from across town, gangster. So you'll be fine, but they won't be able to edit off it. They're going to have to pull it, edit it, put it back up. But, she goes. Hey, girl, hey, what it does. All right. Is that sync operation of your local editing files pushed back to the Synology as part of Slime software scripting? No, you don't have to do that. What's going to happen? I guess what Keely's trying to say is like, if you're editing locally, right, and you want to have it say at night, move copies to the server, that's going to be done through Hyper Backup, which is part of Synology. If you use QNAP, they got a different name, QS Hero, I forget what it is. And I'll tell you why I picked Synology over QNAP in a second. They are absolutely both viable options, but we're going to get as to why in just a brief second, okay? So basically, Hyper backed up, active backup, a couple of other backup software that come with the Synology. That's what's going to reach in at night, grab what you grab and move it over. I also have Carbon Copy Cloner. Carbon Copy Cloner takes a perfect duplicate of my machine and it lands on this. This is a hyperdisk 2 terabyte. This is a hyperdisk 2 terabyte SSD. This is a slow one, but I not care because this guy stays plugged into the machine all the time, except for I pulled it for the demo. And every night, no matter what, my machine gets a backup to this duplicate exactly. On the Mac Mini, I have one of these, which I had left over, and it is the same size as the Mac Mini drive. That also gets backed up every night. Perfect duplicate. Should something happen to one or the other, I can just pull it back. And so this goes to Sammy's point. I follow loosely. I ain't going to say exactly. I follow the 3-2-1 backup method. Okay, let me pull out exactly how to say it because you always say it wrong and then people think you're crazy. But hey, there's a thing. Okay. So the goal of 3-2-1 backup system is, let me drop this down here. Hopefully this works. All right, you guys can kind of see this. 3 data copies, okay? 2 different media types, and then 1 offsite copy, okay? So let's start with 3 data copies. Let's just say that picture, I just pulled that exact picture. Right now, the only copy that exists is on my desktop, which I can't stand. I'll get rid of it in a second. But because it's on my desktop and I am an iCloud user, it is also on the desktop of my other iMac and my Mac Mini and my other Mac Mini and the MacBook Pro. So just by nature of being an iCloud Drive user and having actually 6 Macs, I got 6 copies from the minute it just lands on the desktop, right? That's a small bitty file. So it already done went, blah! If I go upstairs right now, put a bag of ice on my leg, stick the leg out, open the iMac perps, that's already on the desktop. So in a way, we've been blessed by pure laziness because of the way iCloud be living that life, right? So 2 different media types. So what this means is I got 1 disappear. I got 1 on the hard drive. That's covered. I could take the next one and put it on a thumb key. Where my thumb key go? Where you going? Yada mercy. Oh, you know what? I just pull out this one. Just pretend this is a thumb drive. They all basically the same, right? I could put the next one on one of these, right? If it's a paper document, something important, taxes, doctor stuff, finance, whatever, make a printout, okay? That'll be my 2 different data types. For me, I'll have 1 on there and then 1 on a different style media, okay? So that covers that. And then the offsite copy, again, we've been kind of cheated because we got iCloud. It is in the sky already. I can pull it down from the web. But for me, my offsite copy is Backblaze. If you are unfamiliar, go to docrock.live/Backblaze. Backblaze is my G. I've been using it probably since they launched. And let me cover this real quick. I do believe that the link is still docrock.live/Backblaze. Don't start me lying. I'll double check as soon as Rebrandly loads. I am pretty sure it's either that or docrock.live/backup. Let me check. Boom. Yep, docrock.live/backup. Excuse my bad language. If you go to docrock.live/backup, you will get to my Backblaze action. So let me explain this real quick, and then we will move it on. All right. Lord of mercy, where you going? All right. Yeah, man. this also for Rob's cold storage, kind of a double combo. So what this does, macro PCs, for roughly, I think the number is now like 60 bones a year. It's something crazy. They went public. Snap, I got to buy some stocks. I knew this was coming. Anyway, what they basically do is take everything on your desktop at night and make a perfect copy of it, right? It's $7 a month no matter what, okay? So every drive plugged into your machine is covered in that $7 a month. The Synology or the QNAP or whatever the network NAS is, that's a network drive that won't technically be attached to your machine. That won't count. But the 2 terabyte Sabrent, the 2 terabyte OWC, there's other 2 terabyte HyperDisk, and the 4 terabyte Western Digital that's back there. All of that is backed up to Backblaze for that $7 a month, plus the 1 terabyte that's built into the machine. It happens at night, or you can have it happen all day. It just happens in the background. You never notice. Here is what's absolutely gangster about Backblaze. And I have had to call in this ticket before because I force my clients to buy Backblaze because it's just what it is. Because they don't listen and they don't back up properly, right? So the one dope sauce about Backblaze, if you ever have a drive failure, they will send you a drive that's the perfect copy of your data. All you have to do is plug it in and boot up. And then it will put everything back. You can either keep the drive for a small fee or send it back. The other thing I like about them, they've been out. They started at $5 a month 20 years ago, damn near, and they still at the same price. It's only $7 now because drives just got ridiculous. But they're amazing, so that is the answer to that. Shelly tried to get me fired. Shelly is trying to get me fired. What up, though? What up, though? How you doing, MD? Good to see you, Ma. She's laughing at my horrible singing. Deep co-stars, we talking about freezers? Yes, we are. Bruh, the tapes, bro. The tapes was just life, right? Oh, my God. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Hey, bruh, don't worry. It's going to come back. All right, cool. Thank you, Rich. I think you got you covered. Yeah. Rich, it's funny because if you didn't get that QLC TLC thing, it just seems, and it used to be that gap was bigger. So the fact that it's only 40 now, not too bad. But the less layers, the better. But you will lose some performance. It's kind of understandable, but they're both fast enough to edit off of. Let's just cover that. We about to get into that. Let me start you, Sammy. That's exactly what we're going to dive into real quick. Oh, come on, Kills. I need that screenshot. Oh my God, that was blessed. Hold on, the screenshot was crooked. Come on, Doc, line this crap up. Come on. That's funny, Kills. That's funny. All right, let me just check on you guys. What's up, Mr. HD? Good to see you. Okay, MD and Kills is doing their thing over there. All right, Rob, good question. FCPX used MP4K files as format compression, resulted in 19 gig format. Your YouTube short today was 220. You did something changed. That's not correct. It should be the same. Back channel me that one, Rob. That one's a little bit more. Oh, the regular ThunderBay. I mean, I meant to pull that up. Thank you, Kevy Kev. You are a genius, my sir. THUNDER Bay. Boom. ThunderBay 8. yeah. They don't make the 6 no more, but let me get in it. Okay. So the ThunderBay 8. This is legit. We'll start with the 4 first. Okay. So you can get the ThunderBay 4. This is legit. They come in various sizes from 4 terabizzies all the way up to 64 terabits, right? This is the OW. We're going to call it that. And then we're going to get that. I hope that worked. Yep. And let me pop that. Boom. Scroll it back. That's the 4 ThunderBay. Okay, RAID 5. I want you to pay attention to this. Hold this thought. RAID 5. ThunderBays are dope. 100% dope, nothing wrong with it. But we're going to explain why I opted out of that, which is crazy. Let's just cover why this is crazy. You guys know I know Larry, right? Like, Larry was like, yo, I'll give you a dealio on one of these big daddies. And I kind of want to take him up on his offer, and I still might at a later date for just to have it on the floor, RAID direct, and then have it back up to the Synology. But I'll tell you why I didn't go ThunderBay Flex out the gate. Okay, this is the next one. OW, ThunderBay Flex. This empty one is kind of sold out right now, but you can come in and you can see this is the other ThunderBay 8. This is the Big Daddy. Again, it's RAID 5, okay? So we're going to explain the difference in 2 seconds. Let me just make sure you guys are properly linked for anybody who just wants to do this the easy way. Okay, so, okay. Kev, those are dope. But here's why I didn't go to that. You're going to basically, okay, you can get an empty ThunderBay chassis and do a RAID 5, which means you're going to need a minimum of 3 drives. But they kind of come in 4 and 8. If you got 3 drive, say you bought 3 drives in an empty ThunderBay chassis, ThunderBay 0, right? And you built that RAID. When you run out of space, you can't just pop in another drive. You can add it, but it will just literally be another drive as if you plugged it in with a cable, right? With the Synology, and actually, since we're on the subject, same reason why I didn't get a QNAP. QNAP is dope AF. So is OWC. But whatever you build that RAID at, it is not expandable without buying an entirely different chassis and then connecting them together. With Synology, they use a technology called SHR. I won't dive deep into that. But Synology actually allows me to do something insane like Victor and put in a 4 terabyte drive. And then next, this 14 terabyte goes on sale for $270 like it did. And he can stick this in and that 4 terabyte now becomes 18 terabytes. There's no redundancy, but it'll become 18 terabytes. If he decided to take that 4 terabytes and make it 12 terabytes, it will use the other 2 terabytes. It will use the other 6 terabytes to build some redundancy so that 4 could fail and never lose any data. You see what I'm saying? So the dope part about Synology is you could theoretically start with 1 drive. Please don't, Victor. What the hell are you doing? You're an IT guy. You can start with 1 drive and you can expand it. You can start with just 2 drives. And then when you start running out of space, you look at hey, Amazon, what's on sale? Hey, Doc Rock, today the Seagate Exos 14 terabytes is on sale. Oh, can you order me one of those? It is added to your shopping cart. Would you like to buy? Yes, stupid. I told you to add it to my cart. Okay, boom. And then 2 days later, hey, it's UPS, man. I got a package for you. Slap it in, you're gone. So as much as I love the ThunderBays, because they are dumb fast, right? And they're dope. And I love OWC everything. For me, what I needed for today, I needed that expandability. I still might go back and get a ThunderBlade to replace editing off of these SSDs, because I just don't like having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drives connected to my machine. That's what's weighing down my USB bus. You know what I mean? So by eliminating that, then it will get bam. Yo, man, good to see you here, son. It's been a minute. How you doing, Hirsch? Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see. Where did I left Kevin at? Ba, 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 ba. That was a good question, Kevin. Yeah, Backblaze is legit. You can even back your NAS up. See, dang it. All I need is one mic, Illmatic. You can back up your NAS to it, but that's a different thing. That's B2 cloud storage, which is dope. That's kind of cold storage that Rob talked about, but bam. Oh, red. Black Friday sale, 8%. Dope. 1C, dope. And SSDs are SSDs. It doesn't matter whether it says Mac or PC or whatever. That's kind of malarkey. So Adam is on point. That Rakuten, 8%. People, Raku 10. Raku, not Raka, not Raku, Raku. Raku is clay pottery earthenware, and then they flame it, that glaze, that style. Back in the day, the original company is named after a giant like mercantile center where everybody would come in to buy and sell their wares. Think of it as a bazaar in the Middle East or a swap meet in Slauson. That's California, right? So 10 is a shopping area. Raku 10. It was like the mall. That's what it is. Why we get Raku? I don't know, Rakuten, and they say Rak-a-10. There's only one A. Where the hell did the other A come from? Raku 10. All right, thank you. Sorry, Japanese major, can't help myself. You can plug it in directly to the Mac. It's why it's called the ThunderBay. What's your name? Samuel? Thunderbolt? What's a cute name for a Thunderbolt drive? ThunderBay. Ha ha. 4 bays, Thunderbolt, ThunderBay. Yes, my unrated is a rack mount. There's tons of rack mount raids. Tons. I used to have an X-Raid back when Apple used to make those. You can buy a J-Series Synology, which is rack mounted. Adam, you're a rock star. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Paul is coming in. Okay, let me give you guys the last quick rundown and we'll dive more. This could end up, I knew this might end up being a couple of part series. All right, so let's just start with the basics. If you had to just go, I'm gonna do the, don't tell Loria, I'm gonna steal her, level 1, level 2, level 3. Okay? We're going to steal her level 1, level 2, level 3 talk. Okay? Level 1. Okay? Level 1. Western Digital network attached storage, just kind of like pre-built gangster. You buy this, you throw this on your desk, you call it a day. It does work. Okay, what we're not going to do with this is we're not going to edit off of this. This is going to be, we're going to set up some type of automation that when you finish editing off of your SSD, it will automatically move over to this drive, okay? I'm going to suggest if you do decide to get a Western Digital Cloud, 8 terabytes as a creator, kind of small. You're going to eat that. I probably would go to the 5, but come this Black Friday, you can, if you don't want to get technical, you don't want to get crazy, you don't want to get like LGL level gangster, I just want a big place to put my stuff, we're going to do something like the Western Digital Cloud. Okay, it is just a 12 terabyte network attached storage. It will cover your full ass system backup, where it just takes your entire Mac, backs it up, moves it over there. It will also cover, take your SSDs or your externals or whatever you do, you know, on these little joints, and it will back them up to that. And it will come with some backup software. I probably wouldn't use that. I'd probably go get like Carbon Copy Cloner or something a little bit more fantastical. If you have Set App comes with backup, Chrono Sync, a couple other things like that. There's ways to do it. If you end up buying one of these, say you stick to level 1 because, hey, wallet be what the wallet is, hit me up. I'll show you how to do it off of what you got. I'll give you some recos. You know what I mean? Okay, that's level 1. Level 1, okay? We're just going to back it up to this. Okay, let's get after it. Level 2. Again, I'm going to be talking about Synology because that's what I picked. In theory, you could get QNAP, but your QNAP and your OWC are going to be in a situation as follows. Whatever size RAID you decide to go with now is what you stuck with. You won't be able to grow that, right? Synology has technology that's called SHR RAID, which will allow you to grow on the fly. Before I go any further, let me stop what I'm doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to and say what's up to Snack Nasty himself, Tom Buck. What's up, player? Chess! Sammy, X-Raids are older than you. Don't even think about it. You do not buy old technology when it comes to RAID. You just don't. I will give you mine. It's rusty. It doesn't work. Don't do it. They don't even make the type of drives that win in that thing anymore. What are you doing? You never trust your data to old tech. That is insane. 4 terabyte SSD, 4 terabyte SSD for use with a laptop. Yeah, 4 terabyte SSD is dope, but we're looking for redundant storage as creators. The reason for redundant storage for us, freaking Greg, don't do that while I'm thinking, bruh. Redundant storage for us because we don't want to lose a project in the middle of what we're doing, Harshit. Like if we lose a project in the middle of what we're doing, we will cry. So it's too much work in editing and shooting and saying your lines right without flubbing your lines to just be like, I'm going to keep using the same 5-year-old 4 terabyte SSD I got and have yourself lose a piece of data. So that's why we on this mission. All right. Level 1/2. All right. This is a Synology DiskStation 720. Okay. Again, baby girl over here is very inexpensive. Okay. It will get the job did, right? But as a ThunderBay, you'll be able to expand it, and I'll explain this in a second. But as a ThunderBay, you can only lose one drive, right? So you also, if you put in 2 14 terabyte drives in this, I would probably leave it as a 14 terabyte RAID, meaning one drive is the backup to the other drive. So that way, if you lose a drive, nothing happens. Okay. Now, I know all you guys are talking about SSDs are dope, but we're not really talking about that today in this particular subject for the simple reason that, yes, they're fast and you can edit off of SSDs all day long, but there's no redundancy. And believe it or not, I've had clients lose these or drop these because they're so tiny, right? And lose or drop and have one not work and then just lose everything. So we're talking about more like grown folk storage. So yes, I will have an SSD in my NAS to make it faster, but it's not really about SSDs today. Okay. Back that. Stop it, Adam. Stop it. Okay, so this right here, I'm sending you guys right now. That is the Synology 2-bay joint. It totally works. Now, let me explain to you how Synology be naming stuff. Actually, let me go to their page, and then it'll make sense. Synology's nomenclature is actually pretty boss once you get the hang of it. Let's go to products, and we're going to go to NAS and SAN, and we're going to go to desktop. All right, so we didn't even think about these yet, but oh my goodness, I really want one. Let's get in here into this Plus series. This is where we at. Okay, their numbering system is so freaking easy. I love it. DS, disk station. Doc said this stuff. DS 2-bay, 20, invented in 2020. DS, disk station 4-bay, invented in 2020. See, 4-bay, right? DS 620, 6 bays, invented in 2020. 7 bays, invented in 2020. So forth, so on, etc. Right? That is it. So down here on the bottom, what I got was a DS 1821 Plus. Let me make it a little bit higher so that my melon isn't blocking the zoom as I come over here. Man, get out of here. Okay, I got the DS 1821 Plus. Yes, the type of processor and CPU have a lot to do with the speed of your RAID, but most of y'all, if you do it the way I'm telling you to keep your money right, no problem. If you want to splurge and go on the higher end, we'll talk about that when we get to level 3. Okay? So, Synology dope because they allow you to just do things. I don't recommend any of these value series for us creators. This is just for like, I'm at my house, I shoot a lot of pictures, photos is my hobby, I need to just have a backup of my photos, okay? And J series don't really affect us either. Again, this is for like family type folks. Most of us want a disk station level, right? Now, to your boy Samuel, who asked that question, you come into the RSXS series, and then your 12-bay RS3618XS, that is, speak my language, come on with me now. Wait, my brain's stuck. That is a 12-bay rack mount. Okay, why does it say 36 instead of 12? Same thing back in the other setup. I see how I messed up because I missed an important statement for you guys while we were over here. I'm going to come back to the DS system because only Sammy asked weird questions about rack mounts. The first number here, after we passed the 2 and the 4, the 6, you were like, yo, Doc, you just said that the first number was how many bays? Okay. And this story held true at the 2-bay, the 4-bay, the 6. What the hell is a 7-bay? And why does it only have 2 slots? Well, I'll show you. Why does this DS 1821 Plus only have 8 bays, Doc? Well, I'll show you. Why does the DS 1621 Plus only have 6 bays, Doc? Or the 15 only have 5, right? Well, I'll show you. Okay, let's get after it. Where him go? Where you go? Do you know where you're going to? Where the hang do it is? Hold on. Hold on, we. I don't see it on this picture here, but theoretically, what happens is there is a, oh man, why is it missing? I am silly. Anyway, there's an expansion bay, okay? And expansion bay chassis are either 5 bays or 10 bays, and all they are the same thing without the ability to be a RAID. It's just an expansion bay, and I don't know why I don't see it on this page, but that's what they are. The expansion bays, because again, with Synology, you can come back later and add a little bit more space, right? Without losing anything, right? So if you come over here, you got this 5 bay expansion. So this 5 plus the 2 bay on that 720 is 7. You know what I mean? Or on that 4 bay 920 is 9. So you can come back later and add one of these expansion joints and then go to town. So that's why it's like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can add 2 of these to the 18, which is the 8 bay, or the 16, which is the 6 bay. You can add 2 of these in order to expand. Okay? So if you ever run out of space later on in the game and you want to bless it up, you can mash up your fist, buy an expansion bay, and then grow your grow. You know what I mean? So there it is. There it is. That is why we decided to go Sunology. Okay? So as you're looking into your Black Friday sales, level 1, look for something like that WD network attached storage. Okay? LaCie makes one, Seagate makes one, WD makes one, whatever. Pick one. They're all generally the same. That is a level 1 network attached storage. You're looking at like $500-600. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, if you just want a big drive, like I don't even want to play this game. I just want a big drive. Go get a big 6. Oh, why did you type that like that? LACIE. Big 2 big 6. I'll pick big 6. Lot of mercy. Here we go. Browser. Okay. This is right back in level 1 again. You know, you can just get a big old drive and plug it. It will do the same purpose, but you don't have redundancy, gang. This is the problem with buying one of these. They work. They absolutely work. They're fantastic. Any backup is better than no backup, but this is literally just going to get you no redundancy. So we're looking at redundancy. This is how we do it. That's what I'm saying. Okay? So you can do this, but not do that. All right, I'm going to show you the SYNOLOGY. I think the one that's going to go on sale, what's going to probably go on sale on Black Friday will be this Synology DS920 Plus. I think this is the dope start for almost everybody in our space. Number 1, 550. Gangsta. Number 2, if you run out of space, you can add another 5 bays to it. Number 3, it will allow you to start with just 2 drives or 3 drives and be perfectly backed up, and it will work for what we're doing. So this is kind of sort of my recommendation for you guys, but if you know you're going to get jiggy with it and you want to go bigger, then come to class on Saturday and we'll go deeper and we'll talk about that some more. The last thing I want to point out, Sammy, okay, do not buy a 418. Buy a 420. What's the last 2 digits stand for, Sammy? I'm going to give you a second to catch up. What's the last 2 digits stand for? You do not buy a 418. Not today. Unless it's basically free. All right. Let's get to what Dina said. Yeah. Dina said, so I have an SSD backup to the WD. Yes, next step is Synology because, again, that is somewhat redundant, right? But you will run out of it. Again, what you got right now is gorgeous. This is exactly what I got, right? I am backing up from one SSD to another. Yes, Sammy, the reason why you don't buy 18 is because that's 3 years old already, fitting to be 4 years old already. I just said don't buy old tech. You got it. Just 20 at a minimum, 20 or 21. There is no 921. There's a 920. There's no 921. The baby boxes have not come out for 21, right? They'll skip a year. Baby boxes will come out again in 22. So the answer is, I think 920 is going to be cheaper than the 420 or close to it. It's only a couple of bucks out. So no, I would get a 920 because you can expand further. Anyway. So yes, Dina, the whole point of this is all of us creators, we're eventually going to get out of just a stack full of discs, fam. I mean, if you see in this closet right here, the stack of externals that I have, it's stupid. It's like 20 deep. So having a big box with everything in it in one location, dope. Now, again, what I'm doing for mine, I went all crazy. I got 14 terabytes. Let me show you guys something real quick. Let me explain. This might help. Anyway, I got 14 terabytes. And then with the 14 terabytes, I got 32 gigs of RAM, 10 gig network card, because I'm going to edit directly off of the box, and then the Synology. So let me explain something to you. Last one, and then we're going to end up making this a 2-part series because my voice is tired. I'm going to speak on 14s because they're a good deal right now. The reason why 14s are so cheap right now, because 18s and 20s just came out. All right. So again, you can start with OneDrive. And there you got 14 terabytes of space. Cannot do a RAID. It's just a 14 terabyte external hard drive. It's not much different than buying at Western Digital, with the exception of you can grow. Okay. Right now, a 14 terabyte sits at around $300. It's a little less. I got these for $270, but okay. Now, let's say you come back, you add the next one. Hey, get your butt in the slot. Oh, I see. I hate bad web apps. Why doing you? Stupid. Anyway, there's a second one. So you got two options. In SHR, it's still 14 terabyte, but now you have a backup. Either one of these fail, golden, right? Whichever one fails, you're still safe, okay? Now, we're going to come here at a third. 28 terabytes, because these two work. This guy is doing the backup. You know what I'm saying? And then, add the next one. 42 terabytes, right? Because these three work, and this one is the backup. You know what I'm saying? That's the answer. This is why this is gangster. So let's clear the tables. Let's go all the way down to really, really inexpensive right now, 8 terabytes. Right? Let's just say you put in 4 8s. That gives you 24 terabytes of storage, and you can lose a drive. If you're really paranoid or what you work with is very intense, you can go to SHR2, which means 2 of these guys is your data, 2 of these guys is your backup. 2 drives can fail at the same time, and you still golden. You know what I mean? For those of you who just want to think about the old RAID 5 way, again, you can't grow this RAID. You're stuck with whatever size you come out with. You're going to get 24 terabytes. Now, people say, why RAID 5 better than SHR? Because it's faster. But again, for you guys that's starting out, I don't want you to edit off the RAID. I want you to edit off your SSDs. We're just going to set up the Synology to back it up so you never lose anything. You know what I mean? Your Synology will constantly be moving that data that you're editing in Final Cut. Like when you stop to get a sandwich, it'll pick it up, move it over. Something happens to your SSD, something fails, client drops it, you drop it, gets wet, stolen, whatever. It's all in this guy. So we're good. You know what I mean? So that is the answer. Now, let's say I'm like super budget. I'm going to buy a DS 420 and I'm going to buy 4 terabyte drives because these are like $100 a piece. Still, that's 12 terabytes. That's still better than just buying a 12 terabyte Western Digital. It's going to cost you that extra $300 for the case, but safer. It's just safer. So that is why Dina is the next level from doing what we're doing. And you're right. You're right, but here's why I don't find it pricey. I have completely lost 2 terabyte drive with a whole wedding on it. Bruh, not a good look. Not a good look at all. That was like a $6,000 fail. So, nah. I'd rather, for what we do, right? Like what we're doing, maybe it's just a YouTube video and yeah, you can shoot it over again. But it's just more than that, right? We're not just going to use this for our videos. Let's think about it. Now, Keep It Techies. I'm talking to the rest of the kinfolk. This could back up not just your computer. It could back up every computer in the house. Kids can't be like, oh, I lost my homework because my drive failed and I'm going to just have to get this grade. Nah, your homework is backed up on that drive. Every computer in the house can back up to this. All your family photos can back up to this. Your precious documentation, last will and testament, legal docs, like the whole 9 yards. Everything can live on this. One of the things that I'm going to do I'm guessing, if the DS920 goes on sale on Black Friday, I'm going to actually pick up one. And I'm going to build a small little, like maybe 8 terabyte one of those and put it at the in-laws and plug it into the network so that my work Synology will back up to that across the island. You can get a Synology and your friend can get a Synology. You guys can back each other up. What? Yes, you can. That, my friends, also gold. So there's a lot more to this conversation, but we're going to have to make it a 2-parter because hour and a half and I'm done. Man, I'm telling you, if you've ever lost important data, you know why we having this conversation. Because it's crazy. It's freaking crazy. And it's painful. And it sucks. Like the dumbest one I ever did, I was cleaning up space, moving everything to one. I was consolidating. Super funny. 2 G drives, two 2 terabyte G drives. And that's G-Tech, which is now Western Digital, but gangster drives. All us Mac people, we use them. Moving everything over, got it all evened up. So everything is on this one. This one has all the old stuff, but I've already moved it to here so I can clean this one. Formatted the wrong one. Never do data management, never, ever. Formatted the exact wrong one. I called my friend Topher and was like, yo, I'm about to jump out this 16th floor window, bro. Oh, it's funny. Get a large bay, add 2 drives at a time. You can add 1 at a time. Okay, so Dina, the 2 bay is sufficient, right? But your redundancy space is finna be smaller, right? So let's cover. So 2 bay is absolutely sufficient. Let me show you what I mean. Pap, 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 pap. Let's just say we went with 2 14s. 2 bay is dope. You're gonna get a 14 terabyte drive, right? But you're going to have 1 is your copy, 1 is your backup. And it's not that it's legitimately one. Either one is the copy, either one is the backup. Explaining how that works, a little bit complicated. I'm going to forget about it for a second. But it wouldn't matter if, in this case, left or right drive died. The other one would still be gangster, right? Because they're kind of like twins. So a 2 bay is absolutely sufficient. Know that you're not going to get 28 terabytes by buying a 2 bay and putting just 2 drives in it. Okay. The reason why I say the 4 bay is the best, because then if you add 1 more, and you don't have to add it right away, you can add it later, right? Having that 3rd one now gives you 28 terabytes of storage and still can lose one of the three. So you can start with 2 drives, add a third later. Because again, right, if 14 terabytes are under 300 now, people, that's insanity. It's pure insanity. Like, can you imagine that, bro? I spent more than that for this 1 terabyte. This 1 terabyte here was $299. And now I can get a 14 terabyte drive for $270. Are we joking? Check this out. Check this out. Let's go 14 terabyte NAS drive. Now, I didn't buy the cheap ones. Okay. Iron Wolf Pro is a good drive. Iron Wolves are good drives, but I bought Exos. Actually, not Exos. I bought UltraStore. UltraStore is the Western Digital competitor to this. This is the highest. Oh, you so stupid, Doc. This is the highest end drives that's on the market right now. So this is not even buying the medium level. This is the highest end drives available. Not the highest, close to the highest end drives available. These are made specifically to run 24 hours a day in close proximity to another drive that's also running. And you're like, wait, Doc, that sounds kind of crazy. You stupid, man. What are you doing? Okay, so here's a hard drive. It's running. Have you ever picked up one of these while it's running? Inside the case is vibrating like nobody's business. If you hear them on the table, your table can feel the vibrations sometimes. When they're in a box this close together, vibrating themselves together, it causes them to wear out prematurely. So with this UltraStore, this is a Western Digital UltraStore, or that Seagate Exos that I showed you. They take the oxygen out, they fill it with helium because helium is a lighter gas. It doesn't allow for the vibration to move because the air isn't pushing the plates around, so they vibrate less, so they last longer. These are intended to run in a data center, aka iCloud or Google Drive or Dropbox. They're intended to run 24 hours a day at 7,200 RPM, full write data in, write data out. They have a mean time before failure of 2.5 million hours. What? That's crazy. That is crazy. So, at the rate that these is, look how cheap this is. If you went down to the 8 terabizzies, the 8 terabizzies is only like $220, right? The 10 terabizzies, hey, stop here. Check this out. This is why this going to crack you guys up. The 10 terabytes was $299. Here, let me come here. Let me do this real quick. The 10 terabytes was $299. The 14s was on sale for $292. Mama ain't raised no fool. Mama ain't raised not a fool the first, yo. What? So I had originally started out fitting to get a bunch of 10 terabyte drives. And then I was like, you know what? Only for $4 more, I can get 12 terabytes. Ooh. And then Alexa was like, yo, these are on sale for $292. And I was like, Alexa girl, holla at your boy. But then I went this way, ULTRASTAR, 14 TB. Oh, you dummy. Okay. So then, as I was looking, you know, look, purchase November 11th, Amazon said these guys was $270, bruh. And it's the same. Like Western Digital Seagate doesn't matter in this case. I was like, bruh, I'm going to take the WD. Oh, by the way, these drives, because they're made for data centers, they come with 5-year warranties. If you buy the sort of cheaper Iron Wolf versions over here, not the same. Not the same. So these completely work. but they're not as long-term stable as the other ones. And again, right now, it's more expensive. So because of some dope deal happening, we was able to get like high level, straight gangster drives, 14 terabytes a piece for less than 300. That, my friends, is a dealio. Like crazy, crazy. So that's why. But anyway, Dina, to your point, you can start with 2. I would get a 4-bay though and put 2 drives in it as opposed to get a 2-bay. I just don't. And again, if you ask me, and I'm a professional, I think that they fitting to be on some pretty deep sales. I strongly believe this is fixing to happen. I should learn how to type, and I just seen Marshall slide in the back door. Yeah, so the 920 will be dope, and 918 I wouldn't do it at this point. I think there's the 920 or the 720. If you get a 720, the 720 is also dope. Just know, in order to expand that one, you'll have to get the 5-bay expansion thing that I showed a little bit ago. So where the heck, there's a 720. So yeah, you can get a 720, but whatever. You're going to need this. Yes, Sammy, you always back up the backups. That's automatic. We'll talk about that in second part of class because I'm done. Marshall, what it do, Beef Stew. And thank you. I appreciate you, D. Appreciate you. Mahalo for that. Gang, that has been storage, like creator storage level 1. I will complete the second half of this joint on Saturday. We'll talk more about the specificity of why the 10 gig network card and the RAM. You're going to want more RAM. And yeah, we'll talk more about some of that stuff with the drives and all of the above. But I hope this helped. I gave you all the links. Do me a favor. If you decide to just go shopping and you have no idea what you're looking for, do this. Go https://amazon.com. Wrong. Take it back. I take it back. I'm hitting backspace in your brain. docrock.live/shop. There. If you decide you want to buy some of this stuff, you want to be ready for Black Friday, you just want to support, take this docrock.live/shop and make a bookmark on your bar where Amazon is. So instead of going to Amazon front door, you come in through my door. And then that way you support the channel. You saying it's so simple. It's so simple. I did that for my creative friends. I put them in my link. And then so like if I'm going to B&H, don't tell nobody. If I got to buy stuff from B&H, I go watch a Tom Buck video about B&H first, and then I go to B&H. That way, Tom gets credit for whatever I buy from B&H. See? It's kind of genius. It's kind of genius. That way you support your favorite creators. If you go into the shop through their invitation like a vampire, come on in, then you're helping support their channel. You see what I'm saying? Maybe one day B&H will let me be an affiliate, jerks. Anyway, gang, don't forget about Saturday. We got class. We're going to get in class. We get our membership going. You come in, you hang out with the Drop Squad. It's an incredible party on the real, though. Shoot, we have fun. We have a good time. You get to hang out with people like Mr. Michael Powell and his lovely dog Gage. You get to hang out with other handsomely old people like Paul and Sammy Super Chat and all of the above. Megan, thank you. Tom, we got to have a meeting, Tom. Stop. Hurry up, damn it, before we run out of time. We got a meeting. Come on. Let's make it happen. Love you, brother. This, my friends. Oh, wait. He just did all kind of stuff stupid. Hold on. I got to start the music first. Oh, I don't know why in the middle of me getting ready to do this, all I heard in my head was couples table music. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, you know it's the Drip Squad. You know how we do. We looking fly. Marshall, you silly. If you guys haven't seen Marshall's update video, go check it out. You see a masterpiece on vloggery work. It's off the chain. And yeah, Alec, we will talk today during jam session about your project. We'll do a little secret squirrel room. Anyway, gang, I gotta go. You guys are killing. Yeah, it's happening today, Sammy.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when its complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people, this is city I met all my best friends. And I wanna thank every brick, I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. I owe you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall.